Sometimes, all it takes is one last chance to change everything. Imagine your team is disqualified from the tournament. Most of the players are on vacation. There's no preparation camp, and no one believes you can even compete. Yet somehow, against all odds, your team becomes champions of Europe. This is the story of one of the greatest underdog journeys, shaped by chaos, heartbreak, and impossible belief in football history. And this is how it began. The Euro 1992 in Sweden started with uncertainty, tension, and political chaos across Europe. Nations were changing, borders were shifting, and football was not untouched by conflict. Yugoslavia, one of Europe's strongest teams, had qualified comfortably, boasting stars like Darko Panchev and Dejan Savicevic. But with the Yugoslav wars escalating, UEFA made a shocking decision. Yugoslavia was banned from the tournament. Denmark, who had finished second in their qualifying group and were already on vacation, were called in as late replacements. No preparation camp, no expectation. No one thought they could even compete. Richard Müller-Nielsen, Denmark's coach, scrambled to assemble a squad. Some players were still on holiday, some had retired from international duty. Their star, Henrik Larsen, refused to join. Everything seemed stacked against them. But what no one knew, however, was that this team, led by the determination of Lars Olsen, the emerging talent of Brian Laudrup, and the genius of goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel, was about to write history. And it all began in the group stage. Euro 1992 had just 8 teams in 2 groups, with only the top 2 advancing to the semi-finals. Every match felt like a final, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. Denmark's campaign began in Group 1, alongside Sweden, England and France. At first, everything seemed uncertain. They drew 0-0 with England. They lost 1-0 to Sweden. Many wrote them off, but football loves surprises. Against France, Denmark produced one of the greatest shocks in European Championship history. Henrik Larsen scored in the 8th minute, then Paul Piem scored the equaliser. But in the 78th, Elstrup scored the winner for Denmark. They won 2-1. Suddenly, a team nobody believed in had a path to the semi-finals. The early doubts were forgotten, but no one could predict what was coming next. The semi-final brought a clash of titans. Denmark versus the defending European champions, the Netherlands. Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, Frank Rijkaard, Dennis Bergkamp and Ronald Koeman, Europe's finest, were ready to destroy the underdogs. Everyone expected Germany versus Netherlands in the final, but Denmark clearly hadn't read the script. Just 5 minutes in, Brian Laudrup whipped in a perfect cross, and Henrik Larsen headed Denmark into a shocking Burley lead. Bergkamp equalized after a shaky defensive moment, but Larsen struck again to make it 2-1. Denmark were minutes away from the final, until Rijkaard bundled in a late equalizer to force extra time. Neither team was able to score the winning goal in extra time. So, the match went to the penalty shootout, and that's where Peter Schmeichel became a national hero. He launched himself to his left and saved Van Basten's penalty, the only miss of the shootout. Kim Kristofte scored the final spot kick, and Denmark won 5-4. Against all odds, Denmark were through to the final, to face none other than Germany. Then came the final, June 26, 1992, Olympic Stadium. Denmark, a team that hadn't even qualified, faced the mightiest opponent imaginable, Germany, the reigning world champions. From the first whistle, they looked sharp and aggressive, with Stefan Effenberg testing Denmark almost immediately. He unleashed a trademark rocket from distance that could have torn the net apart. But Peter Schmeichel, in peak form, smothered it with ease. Then, completely against the run of play, Denmark struck. They pressed high, forced a German mistake, and the ball fell perfectly for John Jensen. He took one touch and fired an unstoppable shot from the edge of the box, blasting it past Bodo Illner before he even reacted. The crowd gasped. 1-0 Denmark, just 19 minutes in. The fairy tale was alive. Shockwaves rippled through the stadium and across Europe. Denmark, the team not even meant to be at the tournament, suddenly looked like true believers. They defended like lions, every tackle and clearance roared on by their fans. Germany kept pushing wave after wave, but they simply couldn't break through the red wall. And when they did, Schmeichel was there producing save after save. As the first half ended, Denmark walked into the tunnel with belief, but also with the weight of giants chasing them. When the second half began, Germany came out even more desperate. They pushed higher, attacked harder, threw everything they had forward. Denmark absorbed it all, waiting, hoping, praying for one final chance to finish the miracle. And that moment came in the 78th minute. Kim Vilfort collected the ball near the box, shimmied past two defenders with unbelievable composure, and struck. The shot clipped the post and rolled into the net. 2-0. Denmark had done it. Danish fans erupted. Tears, joy, disbelief. After the second goal, Germany threw everything forward. Fullbacks, midfielders, everyone pushing high in the desperate attempt to rescue the match. And when Germany finally ran out of ideas, the referee blew the final whistle. Denmark had done the impossible. The journey was unforgettable. This was more than football. It was belief when hope was gone. Richard Nielsen became the manager who led the unlikeliest team to glory. Peter Schmeichel played the tournament of his life, writing his name among the greatest goalkeepers ever. Brian Laudrup announced himself to the world, and Denmark became a symbol of hope for underdogs everywhere. And honestly, that's the craziest part. Every time you relive Denmark's miracle at Euro 1992, you can't help but think back to Newcastle United, ending 70 years of pain in the 2025 EFL Cup final. Because what they did that summer wasn't just historic, it was impossible to imagine. Make sure to check it out and don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic football stories.